Hi, this is Amber Westcott. Do I have Cody Walker here with me?
Yes, you do.
Fantastic. First of all, thank you so much for agreeing to participate. And just so you know, right now I'm going to go through a few different, just overall rules, things that I'm going to follow. It's the exact same thing that was on on the form that you followed, the authorization form, and then we're going to really get into what brought you in today. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, first thing, I am a graduate student at California Baptist University. I'm under Mark Cox, his class of Professional Practice Seminar 2. And this is a assignment to fulfill a course requirement of mine. So you are agreeing that I am a student. I am not a licensed professional. So I just want to make sure you acknowledge that.
Yep, I do.
Okay, also, everything in this video will remain confidential. The only other person this will be shared with is me and my professor, Mark Cox.
Okay.
And the only other time the confidentiality would be broken is if you disclose any kind of minor abuse, uh, dependent adult abuse, or elder abuse, or if you express that you are going to harm yourself or anyone else.
Okay.
Okay, do you have any questions about that at all?
I do not.
Okay. And I do want you to know that I know that's a lot of information to get right off the bat. So if at any point during our conversation, if you feel you have any questions or concerns, you're more than welcome to stop and ask those at any point. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I would like to get started with what you want to talk to me about today.
Well, for at least the past few years, I don't really have a definitive time, but I've struggled with anger issues. I tend to fly off the handle at little things that there's no reason for me to be as upset about as I get, if that makes sense. And I've been told by a few people that are close to me that getting therapy could be a good idea. And you offered me this, and I figured it may be a good start to maybe get me on the right track to figuring out why I do get so as angry as I do.
Well, first of all, thank you for sharing. Being vulnerable and open with someone, that's really the first step to talk about what's bothering you. So just opening up like that and being vulnerable, awesome. It was so great that you did do that. Um, I would like to ask you kind of more about what you were talking about with how you fly up the handle sometimes. Can you really describe to me a situation when that happened?
Hmm. Well, there's been times, for example, at my job, where maybe it is just me and my work ethic and me over caring, but noticing that things aren't being done the way they should be or people cutting corners, it starts to get me in a mood. And then when other coworkers tell me to calm down and ignore it, I just maybe it's just me caring too much or something like that. But I don't see a point in doing something halfway. It's either done right or not done at all. And I get fairly upset at that. It's one situation. There's others where, say, I don't know, my significant other, as an example, one of her friends will do something wrong and I could take the blame out on her. Never anything bad, but just being too upset and not having a reason for being that upset, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, it does. It sounds like you're experiencing that you have so much passion for someone or for some type of work that it kind of comes through as anger, or sometimes when there's a disruptance, it causes the anger because you have so much passion for that.
Okay.
Have you, when this does happen, how does your work friends interact with you, or your significant other or her friends act with you? Can you walk me through that kind of situation?
They tend to try to defend themselves and what they did, even though, at least to me, it seems like no matter what, they are in the wrong because of whatever they may have done. Because, as I specified before, if you're at work, it's either you do it the right way or you don't do it at all. And I'd rather things get done the right way than me have to fix it later on.
Mhm.
As for my significant other and their friends, they try to just say, oh, well, they're just having fun or something like that. But when you're doing something that is wrong, having fun has nothing to do with it. It just, you either stop what you're doing or, whatever.
Mm. It sounds like you perceive these interactions as very clear, right and wrong, fixable, not fixable.
Yeah.
That can be really overwhelming to bear that weight of having to fix everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can also be very, very frustrating. Maybe you feel like you're kind of teamed up against when
Yeah.
someone's telling you that you're actually wrong for feeling that way. Mhm.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all of your feelings are validated. Okay. Everybody has a right to be reactive to situations. Some people get sad, some people get angry, some people maybe they kind of shut down a little bit, but we all react to situations differently. What's important is to make sure that how we react benefits us and our surrounding, right?
All right.
So, in your opinion, do you think your coworkers or your significant other and their friends, do you think they're in the right or they're correct, as you said, to kind of talk to you about calming down or not getting as angry?
I think they are correct and that I shouldn't get as angry as I do. I will say that 100%. Whether they're correct or not with their actions prior, that's more debatable. But I definitely agree that I do fly off the handle a little bit.
Right. So you're really aware of what you're going through, and that's super important. I think that's amazing that you're self-aware to be able to know what's going on in that situation. But it probably can be a lot to handle trying to make sure everything's done correctly, hearing that you need to calm down. Do you feel like you can calm down, or do you feel like it's just a natural part of the situation?
When I'm in the moment, it feels natural. It
Mm.
just comes out and that's about it. Afterwards, when I think about it, I do think that there are better ways that I could have handled whatever the problem was. I don't think that in the moment I really know how to handle it though, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, it does. Some of these emotions can be a lot to bear, and especially if you're in a time sensitive situation or an emotionally involved situation, it can be a lot to handle your emotions and theirs and how they're going to perceive you. That sounds like a lot for you to handle.
Yeah.
Mhm. When you do uh, hear your peers and your friends' advice for you to calm down, have you tried different tools or techniques to do that? Or does it seem just so abnormal because getting mad as a reaction is natural for you?
Calming down, I think if anything I've tried, say I'm at work, I walk into a walk-in cooler and I physically cool off.
Mm.
That seemed to help a little bit. If I happen to be driving at the time, then I turn on the air conditioner on high or roll down the windows, and that seems to help a bit. Aside from that, I haven't really found anything that has helped me just calm down immediately. It tends to be something that I've noticed I have to do over time. I kind of like, I tend to push people away, even if they're trying to help, and I just stop talking, I stop interacting, and just kind of do my own thing for a while. And seems to be the only way I really calm down as of right now.
Wow. It seems really isolating.
Yeah.
You step away and have your moment to take a breath and physically get cooler by rolling down the windows or stepping in the freezer. It seems
Mhm.
like very an isolating process that you only really trust with yourself.
Yeah.
Mm. So when you're doing these things and you're trying to calm down and you're getting angry in these situations, what why is your first instinct to get angry? And then apart from that, why is your first instinct to isolate yourself? Why do you think that is?
As for the whole getting angry, that I'm not sure. I don't think it starts out as me angry right away. I think I just, like you mentioned earlier, I speak about whatever it is with such a passion that I get louder, and people start to take that as me being angry,
Right.
in which case that in turn starts to make me angry. And as for the isolation, I guess the way I feel is if there's no one around to make me that way, then I'll eventually calm down and cool off.
Right. Could you trust another person to be there when you do cool off?
Um, I think being around, yes, but when I do cool off and there are people around, I tend to be very quiet. I don't interact with people. I just do my own thing and that's it. Now, someone was there, okay, cool. I don't think it would change too much.
Right. It really sounds like your passion for for your work and your relationships, like you kind of said, kind of builds, and that's kind of projecting and making a situation that seems minimal worse. That's kind of what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah.
And it seems like when you do get frustrated or have an issue, that you don't feel like you have the space or the validation from other people to fix that problem or to express that why this is wrong. And it seems like, you don't have that space and that validation, that what makes you very frustrated and angry. And then it seems like when you do calm down, you need to be alone because you don't those people that didn't validate your feelings in the first place, why would they validate them now?
Right.
Would you say that that's an accurate statement?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Would you like to add or change any part of that?
No, I think it's pretty accurate.
Well, Cody, that is actually our time for right now. However, I do want to let you know that there are some great therapists and there's a lot of interventions and techniques to use for helping people learn where their anger comes from and help manage that. And I'd really encourage you to seek those out, whether they follow your insurance or out of pocket payment, however. So if you need those resources, please feel free to reach out to me. I know you have my email as of today. I would also like to thank you for participating in my course requirement. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate this. And again, if at any point you have a question in terms of the process or in terms of where this video is going, again, please reach out to me at that email at any point in time. Okay.
All right, we'll do.
All right. Thank you so much, Cody. You have a great rest of your day. All right.
All right, you as well. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.